Hello everyone, I'm going to be doing my makeup for Dabi now, so hopefully it turns out really good. So for starters, I'm going to take, and I'm very awful for this, but I'm going to actually take lipstick. It's Maybelline New York Super Stay Matic, and I'm actually going to be using it as the base for my Dabi makeup. As you can see, I start with some broad strokes of the liner and I just kind of blend it in with a blender. That way it kind of gives that wrinkly, old, textured skin look. Now I have added it all the way up to this point, and this is about as high as I'm going to go today. So I've gone all the way up to here, run this, and all the way down here around my forearm. And I have to wipe off some extra because it keeps bleeding on over. But now to the other arm. Blending, blending, blending. So much blending. Blending, 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 blending. Blending, so much blending, blah. Blending, blending, doing blending, so blending, blending, blending. I swear this is probably the longest part of actually doing Dabi makeup is just blending in the lipstick. And since it's 24 hours, it'll actually help hold the paint I'm going to put on a lot longer. So now to do my neck and my lips all the way up to my ears and then my underbags. Okay, so now I'm on to the neck portion. Just gonna keep going diagonal lines all the way down to the center of my throat. A little bit around and then bring it down this side too. And it's okay, take it right behind the ear because I'm not actually going to be able to see my ears much with the wig on. And you don't have to blend in all of the lines. The lines actually help make it look more realistic for Dabi. Next, the face. Okay. So I'm going to start at the corner of my ear, go down to where my lips meet. Okay, I'm going to do it on the other side. Start where your ear meets your head. And then this will be the lines of where his skin will meet. And I'm just gonna start adding in some more lines. Gonna look like a tiger. No, not the AirPod, no! Okay, so now I got my burnt and bacon self a little bit. Ooh, I forgot the ear. That was where the AirPod was. Oops. AirPod back in, please. Oh, I forgot this side too. I'm just forgetting everything, aren't I? Like I said, you can do your ears if you want. I just choose not to because you're not going to actually see it very much with my wig on. So now I'm going to take a point of contact on either side, make sure it's even, and go to the corner and bring it down. Same on the other side. And in this case, I'm not actually going to use my wedge because it's not going to work really well this up close to my face since I only have this much space to work with. So I'm going to actually use the applicator to dab it a little bit and make it look a little splotchy. Well, that's part one. I've got this, and this. Now into step two, the paint. Okay, for paint, I'm actually going to be using maroon, and it's the purple variety. And I'm almost out, so I hope I haven't put this cosplay. Wish me luck. With my brush, I'm just going to start dabbing. Just trying to get an even coat. Normally I would do 2 layers of paint like this. So I'm so it kind of looks like a big giant bruise. Like I said, normally I would do 2 layers of this, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to have enough paint to do so. So I hope I do not run out. And for the more detail-oriented parts, I'm going to have to get a little closer with a smaller brush. But this larger one seems to be working just fine on its own right now. Like I said, I don't want a terribly even texture either, because it's meant to look like skin, either burnt skin or frostbitten skin, depending on how you look at it. And this is actually working out pretty well with just 1 layer of paint so far, but I need to get closer to the edges here. Okay, so this is what it's going to end up looking like just on its own. I still have to add the stitches and all of that. So now that I have this set and it's pretty much mostly dry, I'm going to be using maroon setting powder to actually add some setting powder so that it actually doesn't flake off too easily. This is actually my first time using the setting powder, so I hope it works out well. And it looks like my brush is not completely dry yet, so that is actually making this entire process worse. Oops. Sorry about that. So apparently my brushes weren't completely dry, which makes this process very terrible. So I am actually going to be trying and failing apparently to use a makeup wedge, but apparently that's not working either, and it looks absolutely horrible. I don't know what to do now. Okay, crisis slightly averted. I had to reapply the lipstick and the paint in order to get the color back. Guess I'm not going to be using that for a while. So now I'm going to add the paint onto my other arm. And we're dabbing, 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 and we're dabbing some more, because that's what this is for. And we're dabbing, and we're dabbing, and we're dabbing, and we're dabbing, and we're dabbing. We're doing all the dabbing. We're doing all the dabbing. Yesterday, the arms take the longest amount of time for this particular cosplay, and if I just had like armbands or something, or sleeves, this would make this process go a lot faster. Okay, so now I am taking a nice small brush and just kind of doing along the edges to fill in and blend in between the two colors. Just so it makes a perfectly even coat. And this is kind of hard because I am not left-handed. got a lot of splotches that I will need to eventually clean up, but so far, so good. The arms are nearly complete. Okay, onto the neck. Just light splotches. Like I said, doing the lipstick is probably the longest and hardest part of this cosplay, for sure. And you want to keep dabbing so it looks blotchy, but not like you just dumped a whole bunch of paint on your skin line. Okay, now that I have done the neck region, I'm going to be doing the A-bills, and I'm going to be using a very small brush. And again, I'm just making broad little squishy marks. Oh no, one side is longer than the other. Well, luckily, I should be able to fix that up with some makeup wipes. Okay, makeup wipe to the rescue. And now they should be about even, and now I can actually start cleaning up some of the makeup that slipped on me earlier. Try to clean up my arms a little bit, around my hands since I'm not left-handed. I made quite a few mistakes, but all mistakes can be cleared up with makeup wipes. Or at least for the most part. Since I was using 24-hour lipstick, sometimes it is a little hard to remove. But I should have it off for the most part, or as good as I do need to clean it up. And it doesn't have to be perfect for our burnt piece of bacon. Okay, so now I'm going to be using a Wet n Wild eyeliner to actually add in the stitches. You could use staples or whatever, or tinfoil, but I prefer using a makeup look. So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches on that side, and turn them like the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now I'm going to do my neck. 1, 2, 3, and then I don't think I can see past that point, so I'm going to stop there on that end. 1, 2, 3. Good enough. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing my hands. So 1, and 1 right here, 1 right there, and then 2 on the back. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same on the other side. these ones near my wrist are not going to be super important. I just like having them there just in case. Down my jaw. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I usually do about 4 on these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now for the white. Would help if I actually had sharpened it first. That would have been very helpful for myself. So I'm going to be taking my white and just kind of going over where I already have the black lines. Just kind of a thick white-ish. And I don't necessarily want it to blend in with the black. I want it to stand out on its own because it's going to add the silvery touch to it later. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I have to clean that up later. And as you can see, it's starting to blend in here, which is not what I wanted at all. Next. And it blended in again, which is not what I wanted. Okay, now to do my wrists. Okay, and I actually do use quite a bit of white eyeliner, so it ends up getting sharpened a lot. 2, 3. Like I said, I don't have to worry about these ones too much because you're not going to see them a whole lot. Okay, so now I'm going to take a Wet n Wild, and it's actually a Fantasy Makers series that I got for Halloween some years ago, but it really works with this white on Dabi's stitches, and it makes it look very silvery with the white and black already on. And so now my white is actually going to blend in the white and black and make it look like real stitches. So that's why I didn't want to blend it in earlier, because then it would take away from the blending that I'm going to be doing now. I want to try to make it look as realistic as I can. Otherwise, I would have been better off just putting on staples or something. Okay, so this is what it's going to end up looking like. There's that shimmery effect and 3D effect of staples. And then for the other side. And see if you can tell, this one doesn't have a whole lot of weight to it, so I'm going to have to go back through and add another little bit of white to make it actually look like it's three-dimensional. And up close, I personally think it looks rather horrible, but it looks actually really good on the actual screen itself when I'm done. And that is what is important. Okay. Sorry, I have to be able to see. Okay, and I'm probably going to clean these up because they got a little long there. Okay, this is essentially all you need for a Dabi cosplay. Just gotta get the skin color, gotta get the stitches, and don't forget any of the small little details. I just forgot one. Thank you for reminding me. There we go. Now I look like Dabi. And I obviously add lipstick, I add makeup, I add chokers on my bracelets too, but you can pretty much do whatever you want with it, just as long as you're having fun. That's all that really matters. So this is my basic Dabi tutorial on how to do the makeup. Thank you for joining me.